I think they got a really good defense. They've got Christian McCaffrey, who's a genetic freak from his daddy, and then you go into San Fran. I think, yeah, the San Fran and Carolina game is a bigger stretch to me. And, of course, you have the 3 divisionals at the back end. But by then, the Bears might be out of the free. Who knows? I don't see Mitch Trubisky coming back and making a run after the bye week, folks. I don't see him coming back and playing to be the studly guy.
I don't think that this whole Kirk Cousins things is sustainable over a season either. I still think they're a 9-7 team.
And that's my point, is the Chicago Bears and the Vikings in week 15 and 16 might already be out of the playoffs. Yeah, they might be scrapping for wild cards, but I don't know if the Bears defense can hold, because they just took a huge hit. Akeem Hicks dislocated his elbow last week in London, and they said he's out anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks, and that's a huge hole. Akeem Hicks is a wall, folks.
He's a stud. He's one of the few guys that you can say that about. That's an absolute stud. He's a game wrecker and doesn't get enough recognition. He wrecks games the way that Aaron Donald does on a very consistent basis, and does not get enough recognition the way Donald does.
Yeah. I just think with Hicks out, you're already looking at a big hole in the middle. Honestly, I don't know if he returns this season. That's a big injury, guys. He dislocated an elbow and tore a ligament or two from what I was reading. That's not a 6 to 8 week recovery. He's going to have to go through full rehab on getting those ligaments back working in his arms,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And you can't make a club for that type of injury. He's going to have to be in a sling, one of those padded slings that's not going to be able to move his arm for multiple weeks, and then he's going to have to go through rehab. You're not going to get your strength back by then. He's done for the season. And then I just read the Bears are putting Kyle Long, who was doing okay. He wasn't doing great, but still, Kyle Long is a biggie. And then they're going to put in this guy, Coward, I guess is his name. And I've been looking up his tape. He's decent, but it's not Kyle Long. And now you're bringing in a guy who's not familiar with the offense like Kyle Long was, not familiar with the calls. I think the Bears are, like I said, they're just going to have to eat that the humble pie this year.
Well, and here's the deal. And when we did the roundtable, Austin was trying to act like I was crazy because of the way I act, But again, it was one of those situations where I'm being goofy and it's a character and all this, but I was serious in my football take. The Bears are in a dangerous situation with their defense. And no sooner did I say that and he argued with me, they were on the field, gave up almost 400 yards, and 26 points or 24 points. That's a touchdown. That's one score. So it's not like you can tell me, oh, well, it's not 30. Well, I said average. So you don't have to get to 400. You don't have to get to 30. That's the league average when you hit that 20 over 25, and for sure when you get to 30 minutes. I believe they were on the field for about 31 or 32 minutes, somewhere in there, and they lost.
Yep.
That's my point. And that's going to happen more and more, and it doesn't mean that their defense isn't elite. It's like I said, no defense, elite or not, can withstand that. They're not conditioned to be on the field and play that much like offenses are.
They're not built to play from behind.
No, they're just not. Defense is not played like that. It takes more energy to react than it does to act. Does that make sense, Dave?
Oh, yeah. No, that's 100%, man. I just don't think they're built for a long run this year. And even last year, I think they played a really bad Packers team last year, folks.
Dave, this is a take I'm going to say because I'm going to set you up here because this is your take. I'm just going to rehash it. Allen Robinson's nice. Miller is a nice young piece. Burton's a nice 2 or 3. Cohen's a nice third down back. Montgomery's a hammer. Your quarterbacks are okay, both backup and starter.
Yeah.
they're overhyping their weapons as a whole. Your offensive line is okay. They are
They
not
try to
honest
compare
about
him
what they
to
have
Reed's offense,
on
and it's not even
offense
close.
in Chicago to pair with their defense. And if they don't smarten up, they're going to waste this defense because defenses shine
what they
and burn
did in 06
like
too,
a star.
and 10.
Look at what happened to the Seattle Seahawks. When you got a defense like this, you got a 3 to 4 year window. You better capitalize
Offensive players got
or
greedy.
it's done. Denver, same thing. We can go through all the elite defenses just in the last 10 years. They either got one championship in a 3-4 year period or they never get it done because their offense never does enough to match with them. That's what the Bears are. And I'm not being, this has nothing to be with a Packer fan or anything else. Just look at their pieces and really understand what they are.
They
Allen's
paid a lot
nice
to get their
number
defense the way it
2.
was, and
He's
that's
not
no
a
problem.
1.
But
Allen,
there's nothing on offense that screams like stud. I know what you're saying. No one screams stud on that offense.
Well, outside of the potential of Montgomery.
But that's potential. We've seen flashes.
Well,
we
that's
haven't
what I'm
seen a
saying.
full game from him.
That's
I'm talking
outside
about
of that.
4 or
Everybody
5
else is just
stud.
nice.
I mean, you go look. Lions at least have a Kerryon Johnson. Kerryon Johnson is on pace to have a 1,000-yard season. I mean, Stafford, we know that's Detroit's stud. Minnesota, Dalvin Cook, certified stud. Thielen, certified stud. Diggs is a stud number 2. You look at Chicago. Yes, Allen Robinson's having a good season, but he is not a stud, folks. He is not this guy. He's not this guy that screams double coverage. To me, that's when you know you have a guy that you can game plan to use as a decoy even because he's that good. I saw the Bears triple cover Devontae Adams multiple times in the Bears game in week 1. That's how much respect he deserves on the field.
We've seen it
That's
with
a
Julio
stud.
Jones. We've
Yes,
seen it
Julio,
with
DeAndre Hopkins, all of them.
DeAndre Hopkins, A.J. Green, yeah.
When you get 2 DBs, each play at least to be designated to you as a weapon. When you have linebackers that are told by their defensive coordinator that you have to spy this running back the whole game.
Christian McCaffrey.
That means you're that stud. Yeah, Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook. That's what I'm saying. Is Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is our running back stud, and I will take him over freaking right now. I love Kerryon Johnson for the Lions, but I'll take him over Kerryon because Aaron Jones has a receiving factor to him. That's why.
The only one I'm saying right now that is
Dalvin Cook's better than Aaron Jones.
He's got
100%.
more explosiveness. That's why. He's more of a home run hitter. But I think Aaron Jones has a little more power, whereas I think Cook is a little more wiggle. Jones is more of an inside guy. Cook's more of an outside guy. No, Cook has power. I'm saying what they're good at. Dalvin Cook's better at that stretch, and inside zone is more of Jones's thing. So they're a little different. If you had those two on the team together, you'd damn near be unstoppable. Could you imagine that? Like
you would need a Trent Dilfer. It's the Baltimore Ravens all over again.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's just that's what I mean is they would complement each other so well. Is what I'm saying.
Just got me a little football wet there, Jay. Woo.
I'm sorry.
Dalvin Cook and Aaron Jones on the damn same backfield. I mean, look at it. But look who they have as a backup. That Alexander Madison. Oh my God.
He's young.
I'm telling you, if they get a right QB for the Minnesota offense, they will be back to their glory days. You have Thielen, you have Rudolph, Irv Smith, Diggs. You have all these weapons, but yet you want to pay a QB 100% guaranteed money for no freaking reason. No other quarterback has done this. Everyone says how Brady's selfish, how Rodgers is selfish, how none of the prime QBs, not even Mahomes, has asked for 100%, folks. And he has shown Russell Wilson, he only asked for 60, 70% guaranteed. Didn't even ask for 100%. And we know he's better than Kirk. Minnesota made possibly the biggest dumb handicap move you can do in football. They
And I told you
handicapped their
that.
offense for another year. Oh, yeah. Oh, I fully agreed with it. I had no problem admitting that. I just can't believe that they still did it. They still did it.
They fell into the trap. Just
Here,
like
we need a QB. We need a QB. Here's a blank check.
Move.
Oh, who are you? Oh, I'm Kirk Cousins. Okay, just take the check. Like, that's what I felt like it was. And,
But
yeah, folks.
here's something, folks. It's about that time because I'm getting text messages. Dogs and kids need attention.
But hey, I'm going to say one more time. I'm going to change my score from 27-20, 27-17. I changed it this morning on the Full Monty Show for Detroit tomorrow night. I just don't think Detroit has faced a defense like this yet. I know Philly's talented. I understand LA's talented, but they're both banged up. We'll be missing Savage, but we do have the DBs to be able to step up in his place. But I just read this earlier, Jay. They're 8th in giving up 26 pressures on Stafford this year. That's the 8th most. Guess who's good at getting pressure? Good old Patton.
I know. He does a great job. And it's time to pay the bills, sir. If you haven't had enough of listening to us chatter for the last hour and 40 minutes, you want to go to NFL Addictions on Facebook.com and play. Well, no, not play. You just want to talk about NFL stuff there. It's not a trash talk site, folks, so keep it clean, keep it cordial. That's NFL Addictions on Facebook.com. And if you still got an itch to scratch after that, you want to go to Raz Addictions on Facebook.com and play their version of the raffle for all kinds of cool stuff and chances to win. They even have a chance to win cash. You buy a $10 ticket for a chance to win $100. That's a chance at winning 10 times your money, folks, and it don't get any better than that. They've got all kinds of great memorabilia, tailgating sets, autograph stuff. It's all authenticated. That's on Raz Addictions. Tell them what you've won, Dave.
Anything from the Lombardi era all the way up to the Holmgren era, all the way up to the Mike McCarthy era. Man, I won all that stuff from the eras, guys. I've got everything from Forrest Gregg, Ray Nitschke, Bart Starr. I've got all the occurrence with Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams. I've even got who is that? Jerry Kramer, TK helmet in the booth over there, and I got plenty of stuff. I even won a tailgating tent with 4 pop-out chairs, about $300, and I won it for $40. Cheap and affordable, and it's real stuff.
That is Raz Addictions on Facebook.com. Go there, play, and win. And it's time for shout-outs. Go ahead, Dave.
Starting off with Miss Julie Voigt tonight. I'm going to keep giving her props. Stood on the mountaintop screaming Jacoby Brissett. Guess what? It's coming to fruition. Happy for you of OurTurfFootball.com and PFG5 co-founder. Check her out. Great pen to paper. Great analyst. I'm telling you guys, these ladies are making the sports world balanced, and you need to check OurTurfFootball.com out. Then also you have diehard Packer fan of Parker Mose.
At Parker Mose.
Really good up-and-coming writer. Good pen to paper. Appreciates NFL history. Go ahead and check him out on there. Hack to the Future. Has a ton of media on there, guys. Everything from podcasts to videos, articles. You can even buy tickets on there for the Green Bay game. So if you'd like to get Dave and Jason birthday presents, you can buy us some tickets to the games. But yeah, go ahead and check them out on the podcast section for the First and Goal podcast. We're on there. Also to Monty. Full Monty football show of nutsandboltsports.com.
JP231 on Twitter.
Yep. He had us on this morning. Great guy. Discussed some Packers, some NFL, some fantasy. He knows his stuff. And again, his quote, I'm going to steal it from him. He does the work so you don't have to.
Oh, and by the way, I think it's maybe coincidental, Monty, that you decided this morning to jump off the bandwagon after 40-some plus years of being a dedicated fan, and then they pull off the win of a lifetime. Stay off the bandwagon. Your Jets might win the Super Bowl.
Don't even watch the game, Monty. Also, I'm going to go ahead and